What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. I believe I told y'all before, man, but I did a community survey where I was asking some questions really to kind of see what the community's concerns are with ESBC, through the development, things like that, what they want to see, what they don't want to see. So here's the opportunity for me to kind of go through some of your community comments, man, and really talk about the things that you guys actually want to hear about, man. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. Now, before I get started and start reading some of these, I do kind of want to point out that we did have some developers that was kind of lurking around in some of the social media sites. I point that out, yo, simply to say that, look, the developers are literally everywhere, yo. Every chance these guys get to get some new information from the community, they're there somewhere listening. So I also want to say, whenever you guys get a chance to really kind of speak your mind, like, please do it. Believe it or not, you're not going to hurt anybody's feeling, man. And they are listening. They're hearing the things that you're saying, and they're taking that type of stuff into account. So I just wanted to get that out of the way real quick. All right, so first up, we're going to get a message from a man, Billy Wright, on Facebook. He says, overall, he's really happy with the game. And even though he does have a high wish list, there's really only two things that he's seen so far. He said he feels like that the punches that are clean actually lack some impact. Number two, he said, I don't want every single knockdown to be a ragdoll knockdown because, let's face it, ragdoll knockdowns don't happen too often. I want to see some slip knockdowns or just knockdowns where they get put on their ass. So I actually, I agree with him, to believe it or not. So we'll address number one. So first off, when it comes to the punches not having impact, those types of things, I think it was one of the reasons why they asked about, a lot of people have kind of pointed out the flashing and things like that. Typically the fast flashing usually happens when it comes to knockdowns, just to kind of make it seem a little bit more cinematic, and you get a little bit more of a feel when that light kind of flashes, right? You get the sense of the punch was hard, you know what I'm saying? You get that sense of impact. Now, when it comes to non-knockdowns, will the punches seem as though they hit with some sort of a thud? Now, I'll say this. We haven't seen a whole lot of that, right? Not a whole lot. But we also don't know necessarily where the developers were when it came to the punches. It's something that we've always kind of been in the dark about. Like, sometimes we find out, and then it's like they drop a video and then they say, well, those punches were 3 versions ago. That's version 2, and we're on a different version right now. So it would be nice to get things a little bit more upfront. This is something that you'll actually hear about in a coming video that I did with some of the additional content creators, man. So I won't harp on that too much. But I agree, with Billy to a certain extent. Now, when it comes to the knockdowns, I actually definitely agree with him, because clearly not every knockdown is a ragdoll knockdown. They're not these FA Ajamba, highlight reel knockouts where the guy just power completely shuts off and he just crumples, right? And with some of the fighters that we have in the game, more specifically someone who's really in your face, real wild, somebody like Sean Porter, who's just this wild, controlled aggression, could we potentially see where punches are thrown so hard, man, that they get thrown off balance? Could we see where guys slip, where they fall, where they, just to get that extra sense of realism, man? So I think it's a valid question, man, and I think it's something that we should look to have. But I also asked the question, how can the AI manage all of those things without messing up the ebbs and flow of an actual fight? I don't want to be in the middle of a great combination and then mess around and slip because of water in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's realistic, I don't want to lose out on a possible knockdown or knockout because of something in the ring, man, that I really don't have any control over. That type of stuff is definitely not good for any form of competitive play, because you never want the AI to step in and take something away from you. But at the same time, if we really want that area of realism, it'd be great to have in, man. It's something that we definitely, I think, needs to be balanced. But that branches into so many different areas, man. So look, let's talk about it some more down in the comment section. I'm gonna move on. All right, next up, we got my man Clint Williams, also from the Facebook group. He says, hopefully the cut system is good. Love to stop a fight working on a cut. I also wanted to point out the follow-up from Liam Hawkins. So he says, I want to have to come up with a different game plan because of a cut and have a fear of the fight being stopped. Now, this is something that I think is going to be unique, man, because we've actually seen little clips, man, of what some of the cuts can look like, and they look pretty bad. We've seen the picture of, I believe it's Scott Quigley, he has the turtle shell like over the eye, yo. It looks bad, yo. So I think that when it comes to damage and things like that in the game, man, I think we're going to get a really unique aspect of what damage is actually going to look like in the game. Now, how that plays out in an actual round, I don't know. How that's going to work in the corners, I don't know. Nobody does. Something we probably should know about. And if they put on a video, which I would hope that they actually throw a video out before the end of the year, not completely holding my breath, but if they did, yo, it would be dope. Now, I believe that this is another conversation for the adrenaline system. We don't actually fully know the full scope of the adrenaline system. We got to see a little bit of what the adrenaline system does and how it works. But how many different ways can the adrenaline system actually be applied? Could it be a situation where the adrenaline kicks in, especially when an individual is cut and they're trying to fight their way back into a fight, or they know that potentially the cut is so bad that the fight might be stopped? Could it be a situation where the adrenaline system kicks in because you caused a cut and you see that blood and you're going after it because you want to force a stoppage? Another conversation for our comment section. Look, developers, if you're somewhere around, look, give us some clarity, man, because all of this stuff is really good. Now, this last comment, this one came from Reddit. If y'all are not members of the Reddit page, y'all might want to go over there, yo. It's a huge community of people all just talking about eSports Boxing Club, dude. Like, there's so much that goes on over there. Please go over there. I've actually been a member of that group, man, really since it started. So, please, man, hit up that group. They've showed a brother a lot of love in there, man. It's kind of why I'm pandering a little bit, but go over there, sign into the group. All right, now to the comment. This man had a lot to say, yo. So I'm gonna just leave this up on the screen for about 30 or so seconds, man. But the part that really jumped out at me really was kind of towards the end. This section actually, right here, where he says, how come creators like myself and others aren't really more critical? Now, that is a question that we get a lot, man. How come you guys aren't criticizing the game a little more? How come you aren't doing this? How come you aren't doing that? I didn't think that was a question for me to answer myself. So I literally went out to just about everyone's favorite creators, man, and I had conversations anywhere between 10 and 20 minutes of just talking about this particular subject, man. And I ended up getting a video that was an hour and 50 minutes long, man. So I'm gonna cut that down a little bit. But just so you guys know, just check this out real quick.
And at that time, I'm just like, bro, you're not watching, any videos, because there's other creators that have said, yeah,
I shouldn't have thrown that. Of course, he'd batter the shit out of me in real life.
Being your meat is not productive.
The same way you could say, how can you say the game is going to be good if you... Exactly. How can you say the game is going to be good if you haven't played it yet? Well, how can you say that it's going to be trash if you haven't played it yet?
A lot of the content creators you're going to be listening to are fans. We want the game out tomorrow. Of course we want the game out.
I'll take it right now.
I'll take it now. Take it tomorrow. You know what I mean? But
I've seen the tweets. I've seen tweets like, that people have left this, or people that they're hiring because people they need extra people, or the staff have left and they didn't know how to do the game. Honestly, I just like they said, they are growing.
But like I said, man, I reached out to a lot of people I got a really long video that I got to try to find a real crafty way of cutting down to just a few minutes, but that way you know who I've already talked to, who you can expect to talk to, man. If I decide to drop the entire hour and 50-minute video, then you can just jump to whoever creator you want to hear speak, man. But look, I'm gonna go ahead and cut it there. Like I tell y'all every time, man, appreciate y'all for coming back to the Coach's Corner, and I appreciate y'all's comments, dude. I got so many more comments, man, to actually go through. So if y'all really want me to go through some more of these comments again, let me know, man. I'll choose another 3, I'll choose another 5, man. I'll get through it. There are literally like 50 plus comments, yo, to actually kind of like go through. So I appreciate the interaction, man, from the community. You guys don't ever let me down, man. So like I tell y'all every time, appreciate y'all for coming back to the Coach's Corner. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.